Information shared on the following program is for general information purposes only. It does not constitute legal, tax, investment, or other advice, nor is it intended to recommend any particular investments, products, or financial instruments. Always seek advice from your financial advisor, attorney, or accountant with regard to investment, legal, or tax questions.
Want to know the secret to a worry-free retirement? Well, that's simple. Live well, die broke.
Welcome to the only show in the country dedicated to helping savers worry less about money. The Worry-Free Retirement with your host, nationally recognized retirement specialist and six-time author and fiduciary, Tony Walker.
After working in the financial trenches for nearly 40 years, in meeting in person with nearly 20,000 savers, as well as enjoying serving the retirement planning needs of more than 3,000 clients, and overseeing more than 5,000 written game plans, after all of this experience in helping savers worry less about money and watching their lives play out, there are two basic truths I have learned when it comes to people, money, and retirement. Truth number one, no matter how much you and I might have stockpiled for the future, as the old saying goes, we can't take this stuff with us when we die. In other words, we all die broke. The second truth, the one truth that I've discovered which is much less obvious to the hardworking, unsuspecting saver who's been told all their lives not to spend their money, the vast majority of savers that I meet, the biggest mistake they make is they wait too long to spend and enjoy their money. But how can this be? How can hardworking savers, some of whom worked 30 to 40 years slaving away at work and saving and stockpiling money in their 401k plans, how can millions of savers be so easily influenced by the financial world not to spend and enjoy the money that they've worked so hard to save? The answer? That's right. Live well, die broke. Well, welcome, folks, to the Worry-Free Retirement. And yes, I am that little man in the sweater vest, retirement planning specialist and author of the book, Live Well, Die Broke, Tony Walker. And before we share with you why this philosophy of using and enjoying your money before it's too late is the key to a worry-free retirement, let me introduce to you in the Worry-Free Studios on this February 12th, 2024, America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Orander. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, sir. I hate to start off correcting you, but it's actually February 13th.
Oh, is it the 13th?
It is the 13th, yeah.
Well, I was lamenting about my birthday a few days ago there, Aaron. I think I just haven't had a great birthday the other day. So, all right, February 13th, great. And we've got had a snow advisory last night here in the Louisville area. We didn't have a speck of snow. Is that still around? What was the deal with that?
I woke up early for nothing.
Yeah. Well, it was one of the stations that carries our show. I was a little miffed. I was literally watching the show, and they interrupted the show for a snow warning, and I thought, and they mentioned it for Tuesday morning. I'm thinking, good golly, and it didn't even come. So they preempted about 5 minutes of my show with someone kind of causing the fear. Speaking of fear, we're going to talk about fear, causing the fear of you-know-what in people for snow that never came. But anyway, I digress. All right, Aaron, I posed this question to you before we went on the air. You kind of know now my philosophy of live well, die broke, which simply means try to use and enjoy some of this money before it's too late. Did you have any live well, die broke moments for you personally and or your family in the year 2023?
Yeah, so I took a week off of work and I took my family down to Florida. We went down to Florida for a week with my sister and her family and my mom, and there was just 12 or 15 of us down there all together, and it was a good trip. It was a great trip, and it was something that I needed to do. I had not taken a trip in about 5 or 6 years, and it was time. It was time for us to, just have some family time together and do something like that.
And spend some money, right?
Yeah.
That's great. I noticed also you got I wouldn't call it a new truck, but a new used truck. That thing's awesome.
Oh,
so
thank
you. That's
yeah.
kind of a little bit of a live well, die broke moment, right?
Yeah.
Aaron Orander getting off his wallet over there. Proud of you, young man. Okay, so now that we got your attention, that the key to a worry-free retirement is having a dose of this thing called live well, die broke, and these two truths of money. Number one, you can't take it with you. Truth number two is you don't want to wait too long to spend this money. Why is it that so few people buy into this truth? Well, in my opinion, and watching this stuff play out, it's the financial world. The financial world, folks, has a conflict of interest. Number one, they do not want you to spend your money. The reason is, number two, if you spend your money, that means you take it away from them, meaning they make less money on your money. So what do? They load you up with a dose of fear. And what happens is, because of fear, whether it's getting tossed into a nursing home or fear of running out of money or fear of just not having enough so you better stockpile it and save it, what happens is life kind of passes you by, and because of this fear of spending money, well, sadly, most people don't spend their money until it's too late. So what we're going to do today, we're going to try to, there's a little confusion sometimes over this title, Live Well, Die Broke, and why a retirement planning specialist who professes to help people safeguard their money, why they would come up with a title of a book like this. Well, I'm going to explain this. And I think by the end of this radio show, you will be convinced too, assuming you're a saver, that it's better to spend and enjoy your money, but also we're going to show you through our split IRA concept how we can make sure that you don't run out of it. You're listening to The Worry-Free Retirement. I'm Tony Walker, along with America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Oriender, and we will be right back.
Have you recently retired, been laid off, or offered a pension buyout? Has the company you work for moved, been acquired, or closed its doors forever? And finally, do you have a 401k with a previous employer you'd like to move to safer territory? Then take advantage of this opportunity to move your 401k or lump sum pension to Tony Walker Financial. Let's meet in person to discuss your retirement options. Log on now to TonyWalkerFinancial.com to schedule your free, no-obligation appointment. Let us help you today.
Did you realize that if you have more than $250,000 in retirement assets, the government could tax as much as 40% of it when you go to take it out? And with current tax rates set to expire in 2025, the taxes you will owe on your 401k could climb even higher. Don't wait until 2025 to see how much Uncle Sam will take of your money. Get a game plan by logging on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's TonyWalkerFinancial.com. With the uncertainty of the stock market, now may be the best time to consider moving your 401k to safer territory. To talk to me at no cost or obligation, simply log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com.
Welcome back, folks, to the Worry-Free Retirement. I am America's favorite financial sidekick, Mr. Aaron Oriender, and I got the TNT right here. But Tony, before I get to it, I've got a question. You know, this particular TNT is talking about watching the show and everything else, and I don't know. I just thought about it, and I'm like, when do you normally get these? Like throughout the week? Is there kind of like a flow, or is there kind of like a constant stream, or do you get them all at once? Like, when do you normally get these?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have, I think we're on 7 different television stations. All of those shows, which we're recording today, the Worry-Free Retirement. If you're just now joining us, we're recording this on February 13th, 2024. But anyway, those shows are on over the weekends. Same on the radio show, although a couple of radio shows are on Thursday and Friday, aren't they, Aaron?
That's correct.
Okay. But we tend to get flooded with emails and requests to meet and for the free 10-minute fiduciary phone calls, usually on Monday morning. So our ritual here is every Monday morning, I'm in the Louisville office on Monday and Tuesdays with meeting with people, but I'll get all of the questions that come in. Gina will download all those. We have the answering service over the weekend, which, by the way, folks, if you're listening to this show on the weekend, you can call 877-499-9255. Even if it's on a weekend, we have a 24-hour live answering service. Tell them you need to speak to me, and we'll arrange that free phone call. It's not a problem if you call on the weekends or on Fridays. We are closed on Fridays. So if you call on a Friday, no problem. We have a live answering service. They'll take your information. We will call you right back on Monday. But actually, Aaron, I guess as our practice has grown, like this week, I'll have close to 40 appointments this week. It's just kind of steadies. It's kind of a steady stream. It's kind of interesting. Now, this one that you're about to read literally came in on Monday because they watched the show. So I didn't mean to digress them, but it is interesting how these come in. They used to be pretty much on Mondays. Now it's kind of just throughout the week we continue to get them. But go ahead, Aaron, with the Tony in the Trenches.
Okay, Tony, this comes to us from Kelly in Columbia, Kentucky. Good morning, Kelly. And it says, Tony, my husband is 65 and already retired. I'm 60 and looking to retire in 2 years. But to be honest, I'm scared to spend money in retirement. We saw your show and thought you could help us. So what's the next step?
Well, the next step, of course, would be our free 10-minute fiduciary phone call, which you can arrange if you're in the situation like Kelly's in right now, and you just go to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. You'll see a little red box you click on, and that'll take you to a place where you can set up your phone call with me. We'll talk for a few minutes, and then if it warrants, I'll be happy to meet with you in person at our Bowling Green, Louisville, or Lexington, Kentucky offices. But I guess what I wanted to point out there was the use that, this is her words. Kelly said she's scared to spend her money. Now, if you're just now joining us, I talked in the last segment about the fear that the financial world puts in the minds of savers. The reason they put this fear into you folks is they don't want you spending money. So somewhere, this use of the word scare means that she's fearful. And I think I know why she's fearful. Number one, I guarantee you, Kelly and her husband do not have a written game plan, which is something we're going to be able to provide her free of charge, our proprietary software, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. But the second fear is that she just doesn't have permission to spend the money. Because of all the fear, it's kind of like Aaron, I know we all have kids. You've got 3 children. I've got 3. You've got 3, correct?
That's correct.
Yeah. In some ways, if you think there's going to be danger, you have to instill fear in them, right? Like you might say, to Preston when he was little, don't touch that oven, right? Because you could get burned. But some things we tell our kids, we instill in them. I don't know. Are any of your kids a little more fearless than others? Are they?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Our middle child, she's our fearless one.
So it's just the way it is. So with retirement, it's the same thing, folks. Everybody has different fears and concerns and worries, and that's why I created the Worry-Free Retirement, and that's why I wrote the book, Live Well, Die Broke. What worries me is many of you are fearful about things you shouldn't be fearful about. So first, you have to have the game plan. That's the key. Once you have the game plan in hand, then we're going to show you through our split IRA concept, we'll talk more about that in a minute, how we can help you get access to your money when you need it, spend and enjoy it while you can, and then we can show you through the beloved use of annuities, something we call mailbox money, how we can take that mailbox money and make sure that you don't run out of money for the rest of your life. Now, here's one of the main concerns I have, and this is just a lack of understanding of inflation. First of all, folks, as we record this show in 2024, I am not denying that inflation is real. It's through the roof. Aaron, are you noticing that when you all just spend money at the grocery store? To me, that's the best indicator.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it is crazy, isn't it? So we can all, folks can deny it all they want to on TV and the news, folks. But, folks, if you go to the grocery store, I do a lot of shopping. I like to go grocery shopping. But over the years, I can attest to the fact that if we use $100 bill as an example, Aaron, if I throw a $100 bill out, used to be, you couldn't carry out the bags. You needed a grocery cart. How many times have you walked out of the grocery store carrying 3 or 4 bags for $100?
Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned that. Jessica showed me the other day, I think it's a Facebook group or something, but there's a group on Facebook that all they do is they post pictures of their groceries. And then they just put a caption and it'll say $120, $90, $80 or whatever. And it's like 3 bags. It's nothing.
Yeah. So I'm not denying inflation's real. Here's what's not real, folks. And here's where the fear mongers out there are keeping you from spending and enjoying this money. We call it the 3 halves of life, and I've studied this for years. I wrote about it in my first book, The Worry-Free Retirement, 25 years ago, and that is this. This is a fact. I've watched this play out in working with hundreds and hundreds of savers who get into what we call the second half of life, which usually is about age 70 and beyond. Folks, unless, now again, I'm not saying you might not have a medical catastrophe. We're not talking about long-term care or whatever. We're just saying in terms of inflation. As inflation goes up and the cost of goods goes up, here's what's going to happen to offset these costs. You will get older. So, Aaron, do you think as people age, and I'm not talking about a 65-year-old, I'm talking about a 70, 75, 80-year-old, do you think they tend to spend less money or more money as they get older?
I would assume they'd spend less.
Yeah, they spend a whole lot less. So folks, you've got to realize you've got probably, I'd say on average, most people have a good 10-year window, okay, to truly be at good health and enjoy their money. Oh, by the way, Aaron, we featured a gentleman by the name of Rick the other day, was having issues with cancer, was in his last stages. He wanted to be on the show to witness to people. He passed away that next week. So Richard was in his early 70s, folks. There is no more do-overs for Rick. He is deceased. There's not going to be any do-overs for you when you die or you lose a spouse or old age catches up with you or you get disabled. So what we're encouraging savers to do, we want them to be rational. We're not telling you to go out and blow your money. But understand, folks, this window of opportunity to really enjoy your money is a very brief period of time for most people. And that's where we're different with Live Well, Die Broke. That's why I came up with the split IRA concept. So just to prove to you, this is really interesting. We track this, by the way, just to prove to you that out of all the thousands of clients we have, that we want them to take this money back from us and spend and enjoy it. In the split IRA, we have the Charles Schwab department. That's where we invest money in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, bank products, okay? We charge a fee of 0.8% to manage that bucket. That's your investment bucket. That's your easy access bucket, if you will, okay? Shannon Ross is in charge of distributions from that. We're going to hear from her in a second, all right? The other bucket is the annuity bucket. That's your guaranteed bucket. That's your never run out of money bucket. That's your guaranteed interest if you want us to send you interest. That bucket is orchestrated in terms of the distribution from all of our annuities we've written by Mandy Houchins. So what I thought we would do in 2023, we're going to go to each of these individuals and share with you how many millions of dollars we've poured back to our clients, encouraging them to use and enjoy their money. So we're going to start off with Shannon Ross. So Shannon, take it away.
Thanks, Tony. In 2023, the Charles Schwab department at Tony Walker Financial was pleased to handle over 5,900 distributions for our clients, totaling more than $25 million from their accounts back to them. At Tony Walker Financial, we like to help folks use and enjoy their money.
Okay, again, that was Shannon Ross. She's in charge of the distributions from our Charles Schwab platform to our clients. But many of those same clients, or different clients, it just depends, also have annuities. So now we're going to turn it over to Mandy Houchins to tell you in 2023 how many millions of dollars we sent back to our clients, especially for those who want that beloved
mailbox money.
So Mandy, take it away.
Thanks, Tony. Yes, the year 2023 was very busy in terms of our clients accessing and beginning mailbox money from their annuities. In fact, in 2023, we were pleased to help over 150 of our clients begin their lifetime income from their annuity contracts. Those distributions have totaled more than $2.1 million of income, and that income will last for the rest of their lives. So our clients are excited, we're excited for them that they have more money to spend and enjoy year after year, as those are guaranteed for life payments.
Oh, speaking of annuities and providing that beloved mailbox money, I don't know who you folks are listening to, but this is crazy. Yesterday, I had 18 appointments in the Louisville office, 3 different occasions. These were prospective clients. They were new to us. They just wanted to learn more about our services. And I always ask people when I meet with them, hey, what have you heard about annuities? Aaron, all 3 of these people said the same thing. They said, not much good, okay? I said, what is the main thing you're hearing that's the negative about annuities? All 3 of them, Aaron, said, well, when I die, nothing's left for my family. You're nodding your head.
I was going to say, yeah, that's what I've heard you talk about is, yeah, a lot of people have that misconception that once they're gone, the money's gone.
And now, don't get me wrong, folks. Even with a mailbox money annuity, if you live long enough, and we'll talk about this in our last segment, there's probably not going to be anything left for your family. I mean, that's the live well, die broke philosophy. But to assume just because you have an annuity, when you die, there's nothing left, is totally false. So here's what I would suggest, folks. I've written over $600 million in premium annuities. Over 3,000 annuities I've personally overseen and written. I've spoken all over the country about these annuities to agents and trying to educate them in the proper use of annuities. I've overseen more than 5,000 game plans. I have been experienced in the world of investments and annuities. I've done them both for nearly 40 years. I know these products well. So here's what I would ask you to do. If you're thinking of buying an annuity, if you're trying to understand why a little man in a sweater vest loves annuities and so many on Wall Street hate them, why don't you do this? Download this free booklet. I wrote this personally. It's called Annuities Made Easy. It's free. You can download it at TonyWalkerFinancial.com, TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Or if you want us to send you a hard copy, you don't want to go on the internet and download, just email Gina at TonyWalkerFinancial.com. That's Gina at TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Make sure you give her your name and mailing address. Tell her you'd like to order one of the books, Annuities Made Easy. It's absolutely free. Or you can give us a call, 877-499-9255, and we'll get you one of those booklets. Okay, when we come back, I'm going to show you how our split IRA concept with the two categories, or buckets, if you will, of investments and annuities is the perfect fit for savers, but also there's a third bucket we're going to talk about that is totally optional, one that can really put the icing on the cake if it's something you want to do. But remember, in the end, folks, we all die broke. I'm Tony Walker with Aaron Orander. We'll be right back.
Our employee spotlight shines brightly on my favorite son-in-law and fellow fiduciary, Mr. Trey Jurgens. Good morning, Trey.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And when did you start with Tony Walker Financial?
Spring of 2017.
Wow. And explain the duties that are involved in your daily tasks there at Tony Walker Financial.
Besides favorite son-in-law, I'm full-time advisor in the Louisville office and get to see a lot of our clients up there.
And doing a wonderful job also of the delivery. So when we have those policies issued, you meet with the people. I know you're just developing a wonderful relationship with our clients, and they've got a key person in the Louisville office, so we appreciate that. Speaking of that, I think I know the answer to this, but what is the most enjoyable part of your work now that you're seeing more and more of our clientele?
That's it, seeing more of our clients. I think the unique thing I get to see is from those first appointments, second appointments, ready to move forward, ultimately with those delivery binders at that final culminating appointment. It's just a lot of fun to see the entire process play out.
And since you've joined us, you've just been so much help to us. We appreciate all your efforts in allowing us to see more and more savers. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Welcome back to the Worry-Free Retirement. This is funny, Aaron. I'm just, in between breaks as we're kind of working on stuff, all of a sudden I got an article. I get these articles all the time. This comes from Investment News, very reliable. But I love this article. Again, we're recording this show on February 13th, 2024. Listen to this article. And Aaron, really see if this makes sense to you. Be honest. Here's the article headline. U.S. stock future tumble ahead of crucial CPI data. Subtitle, markets expect inflation, we just talked about inflation, to have eased, but maybe overpricing Fed cuts. What does that even mean to you?
That sounds like a lot of, well, it could do this, but it could do that. It's like, well, you're not really giving a statement.
Yeah, so folks, this is the kind of nonsense that savers don't need to get caught up in. We're not about trying to predict markets or CPIs or inflation or what the Fed's going to do. I've got a crystal ball here in the office, but I assure you folks, it does not work.
Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
That's not what we're doing. We are helping savers worry less about money by enjoying their money, using the live well, die broke philosophy, using our split IRA concept, and a world of experience that includes myself, 3 salaried fiduciaries, and a total of 17 full-time employees. Other than myself, we got 18 full-time employees. That doesn't even count Aaron and Derek in the production company. Why do I employ so many people? Because I want to make sure we're providing the services our clients need, not just now. I mean, heck, there's a lot of great, nice people out there that'd be happy to roll over your 401k and make a bunch of money on it. What we're talking about is servicing the retirement game plan that we're going to construct for you and see that thing through, not just when you retire, but all the way through retirement. So if you're looking for a retirement planning specialist that's going to be working in your best interest, who is a fiduciary, who has the experience and know-how, proprietary software, please reach out to us at TonyWalkerFinancial.com or give us a call at 877-499-9255. Okay, interesting that when I'm meeting with a prospective client, on our second appointment, Aaron, if they have at least $250,000 or assets above, we give them a free game plan. You've seen that game plan. It's amazing, isn't it? That big binder?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's what shocks them, Aaron. I go through the game plan, lay everything out. Again, there's no charge for this. Usually, and a lady last night said her goal was to try to retire this year. When I told her, ma'am, according to this game plan, you're going to be able to retire, she paused, and I'm not trying to be sentimental, tears in her eyes, her looked at her husband, and she said, I can't believe it. And I said, now, you don't have to retire this year. You just told me that would be a goal of yours. And what she said is, Tony, for the first time in my life, I feel like I'm in control. If I want to retire, I know I can. See, she didn't know she could. She had 401k statements. She had nice brokers. She had money in the bank. She did not have a plan. Folks, I don't know how in the world you could truly be worry-free, unless you're a gajillionaire, but how can you be worry-free if you're our typical saver, you got $250,000, $500,000, whatever it is, and go into retirement without some sort of game plan to help you understand when to spend money, how to protect it, how to keep access to it, and then also follow this live well, die broke philosophy. You've got to take on this philosophy to truly enjoy money. Number one, truth of Live Well, Die Broke, in case you're just now joining us. And again, if you want to order the book, you can order it on Amazon or Barnes & Noble. Highly encourage you to order this book, Live Well, Die Broke by Tony Walker. I think it's going to really be a game changer for you. But more importantly, it's going to open your eyes to the reality. Number one, truth, you can't take it with you. We all die broke. Number two, truth, is most people will wait too long until it's too late to spend and enjoy this money. Oh, before I share with you the 3-bucket approach to Live Well, Die Broke, Aaron, had a lady in yesterday. She'd read the book. I think she's going to work with us. She said, it's funny, my adult daughter saw the book. She was over at the house. She goes, Mom, what's that? She goes, well, I'm thinking about working with an advisor, and I've been reading his book. And basically what that means is, honey, when I die, you're not going to get anything. And the adult daughter honestly said, well, that sounds awful, Mom. She said, no, I'm changing my perspective. I've been saving money for the future. I haven't helped you or the grandkids. I want to start giving you all money now as opposed to waiting when I die. So you're an adult, right? If you had a mom or dad that told you that, what would you say to that?
Sure, I'd say let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Why folks, are you sitting around? I mean, this was what we learned from our parents because they came out of the Depression, or grandparents did. I get it. But you're sitting around with all this money just waiting to be taxed by the government. It's probably going to be even taxed more heavily. You may not even be able to spend it later because you're in poor health or dead and gone. Why are you not working with an advisor who can not only help you spend and enjoy your money now, but maybe give some of it tax-free to your kids and grandkids now so you can watch them enjoy it as well? So how do we do that? Well, on page 112 of the book, Live Well, Die Broke, I talk about 3 main buckets. Let's read these off real quick as we conclude this show. This is good stuff. The number one bucket we set up is something I call the liquidity bucket, or what I like to refer to as the spend money now bucket. A lot of people don't realize our expertise in investments. All they think we do is annuities, which is totally untrue. But basically, the spend now bucket is our Charles Schwab bucket. We can take money out at any time without transaction fees, without commissions, nothing. It's completely accessible to you. That's the Charles Schwab bucket, number one. The second bucket is the never run out of money bucket. That's the bucket where we put our mailbox money. That's where the annuities go. That could be a fixed accumulation annuity. It could be an income annuity. There's all kinds of annuities. Again, you need to read my booklet, Annuities Made Easy. I'm an expert in this field. I know these products well. I can know what to put inside the game plan once the game plan's done. Remember, you buy the annuity after the game plan. You don't buy the annuity and hope for the best, which is what many of you are doing. And the final bucket, listen to this, Aaron, this is actually optional. I call it the legacy bucket. That means you want to set aside some money or guarantee that something's left to your kids when you die. But I'm having more and more people, Aaron, who realize that that may not be possible. So the question is, if you did have plenty of money for yourself and you're able to enjoy it now, maybe give some to your kids and grandkids now, do you even want a legacy bucket? Some people say no, some people say yes. So the only way we can answer that question for you folks is we need to meet. If you're sitting there and you have no game plan, if you don't have an advisor who you feel is working in your best interest, if you feel that people are just trying to peddle stuff to you all the time, we need to talk. My name's Tony Walker. I'm the owner of Tony Walker Financial. If you want to talk to me in person, we call it the free 10-minute fiduciary phone call. Just log on to TonyWalkerFinancial.com. Click on that Let's Get Started button. We'll arrange that phone call. If you're not interested in going on the internet and want to just give us a call right now, it's 877-499-9255. Well, we hope you've enjoyed today's program. We've enjoyed being with you, but you remember, between now and next week, if all else fails, you be worry-free and make it a good one.